Hey, I'm Akurios, and thanks for joining me. In this episode of Music Business Monday, we're going to be talking about what happened in music business in 2019. Coming up. Welcome to the very last episode of Music Business Monday in the year 2019. Yes, it's a couple of days to 2020 and the year 2019 will be over and everything that came with it will be in the past. And today we're going to be talking about mentioning some of the things that happened in the music industry, both locally and internationally in music business, and as it relates with our careers and our music business decisions and what the future could hold. I'm not going to mention every single thing that happened in music business in 2019, both locally and in the international scene, but I've just handpicked a couple of things that I think will have a significant impact on your music career, on our music careers, and things that would, go a long way to inform our decisions, the decisions that we're going to make in the future regarding the future of our careers. And I feel that these things are very, very important. I'm excited that they happened in the year 2019. I'm excited that they have already happened, and the industry can only work better for artists, songwriters, and even independent artists from now on. Of course, if this is the first time you're seeing me, my name is Akurios, and you're welcome to my channel that has exactly the same name. And if you're interested in singing tips, if you're interested in sharpening your music business skills, and learning a couple of things about recording and music production, then you are welcome to subscribe to the channel, tap the notification bell so that you are notified when there's new content from me. The music industry event of 2019 I'm going to be mentioning first is Burna Boy's Grammy nomination. Now, Grammy nomination, of course, for the coming year, 2020 Grammys. And it's a significant event that took place this year. And it's something that every single artist in this part of the world should be excited about, because it means that our music has now taken a solid, firm position in the international music consuming community, and everyone should be excited about that. And your sound, the very sound that we possess, that we have created, can and has been accepted by the entire world. And we can just go ahead and do what is our own. And that's an exciting thing for every single one of us. So he, along with several other Nigerian artists, have established and created, helped and contributed massively in creating what is now known as the contemporary Nigerian sound. And this has firmly taken its position in the international music industry. And we're beginning to get rewarded for this. Now, whether he wins the Grammy or not come 2020 Grammys is kind of inconsequential, because the nomination itself is a massive statement that goes to say a lot about Nigerian music, a lot about Nigerian artists, a lot about the fact that we are now being heard, and the fact that the Recording Academy and the biggest players in the music industry internationally are beginning to take note of our music and take note of our participation in the international music scene. And this is something that we should be excited about. Now, I have a detailed video on this particular topic, on Burna Boy's Grammy nomination, in a previous episode of Music Business Monday. Now, I'm going to link that video in the description of this particular video so that you can go ahead and watch it and learn more about the implications of that particular Grammy nomination. Of course, Burna Boy is not the first Nigerian to get nominated for a Grammy Award, but that's what is exciting about it, that he's not the first Nigerian, and there will be more nominations after him, because our sound is beginning to grab the attention of the international music scene. And we'll talk more about that subsequently. And hopefully, when he wins, I hope he wins, because it means a lot for me as a musician in Nigeria. And we're going to talk more about that, and we're going to really dissect the implications and what it actually means for every single one of us. And we'll talk about that when he wins. It doesn't matter if you're signed to a label. It doesn't matter if you're an artist, an independent artist. It doesn't matter if you're an up and coming who is still trying to find their way in the industry. Now, what has happened in this particular case means a whole lot for you and I. The second event of 2019 I'm going to be mentioning in this video is the sale of Big Machine for a whopping $300 million. Now, as you all know, just in case you didn't know, Taylor Swift was signed to Big Machine, the record label Big Machine, for a couple of years, and all the records that she made under that particular record label, unfortunately, she didn't own any of them, and all the recordings and all the masters were owned by the record label Big Machine. And this year, Big Machine decided to sell it to a particular music manager who is obviously not in the good books of Taylor Swift herself. Now, this particular buyer is named Scooter Braun. Now, this guy is a massive player in the American music industry, and he has been instrumental in the advancement and development of several artists in America, big names. I don't need to mention them. Interesting thing about this is that it wasn't just that the catalog was sold. Taylor Swift obviously didn't have rights to these masters. She didn't own the catalog of the songs that she recorded. She didn't have rights over them because she was signed at a very young age and she didn't know too much about all this. In fact, when she left Big Machine a couple of years ago to another record label, she actually said that now, I can own my own masters of my recordings. And that's something I've mentioned in previous episodes of Music Business Monday, which is that no matter what record label you sign to, try as much as possible to avoid losing the rights to the songs that you write, the rights to the songs that you record under that record label. So Scooter Braun has bought Big Machine and he now owns all the catalogs. And, that is something we need to talk about. That is something you need to think about. If you're going into 2020 and you are thinking about signing a record label, have this in mind. Make sure you own the copyrights to your masters. Now, if you don't know what I mean by musical catalog, I'm referring to a collection of masters created by an artist in a recording studio. A master is, of course, the first copy, that is the recording of the song that you hear, the album that you hear, that you went to the store to buy, at the retail price, was first of all created and converted into a master in a recording studio. Now, that master is what is now mass produced and distributed to the entire world. Now, so in this case, a collection of all the masters recorded by an artist under a particular record label is what is known as the catalog of that particular artist. So in this case, Taylor Swift had a collection of masters, had a catalog with Big Machine, and Big Machine decided to sell for $300 million. Maybe sometime in the future, we'll talk about this particular thing deeply. And one of the things you can take out of this is, if you're going into 2020, I'll say this again, and you're thinking about signing a record label, make sure you own the rights to the songs that you create under that record label, even if it's just 50%, because 50% of $300 million is massive. And you can't tell how far your songs will go. You can't tell how successful you're going to be as an artist. So you can't take any of your recordings, any of your masters for granted. You have to treat each and every single one of them as something that has the potential to transform your life, literally. And that's what Music Business Monday is about, for you to see the potential of actually making a living from your music. Next on my list here is Mariah Carey. Now, we mentioned earlier in a previous episode of Music Business Monday that she broke three world records, Guinness Book of World Records, and she has actually been handed the plaques for these mighty feats. And one of them is very, very significant, and one of them is something that we'll be talking about for years to come, because this is a feat that has not just broken a Guinness Book of World Records, but has sparked hope in the hearts of every single songwriter out there and every artist out there, to be honest. Now, this is one of the events that shocked me the most in 2019, because the song was first recorded in 1994. First of all, that means that no song is old. I mean, if you have songs out there you've recorded in 5-10 years ago, and you think they are no longer relevant, you may be wrong. This particular event has proven to every single one of us that we may be wrong in judging our songs as old and outdated and, can't contribute anything to our careers anymore, because this song actually broke records. 3 records. That's amazing. That's something that I don't even know how to explain. Now, of course, there's a video I did about this particular event. I'm going to drop a link to that particular video in the descriptions of this video so that you can head over there and watch the video and hear what I have to say about that particular event. And maybe you can learn 1 or 2 things, the implications. You can learn 1 or 2 things about valuing and still placing value on the songs that you've released in the past. The fact that you've released these songs in the past doesn't mean that they're no longer relevant. They are relevant. Music can never die. Good music lives forever, to be honest. Good music lives forever. Okay, so now that also tells us that it's very important to have the copyright to every song that you've ever released in the past. Now, do not throw away your copyright. If you own the copyright to a song, do not get tired of a song and license it permanently to another person and lose ownership of it. Don't sell your catalogs too quickly. I know I talked about a record label selling catalogs. Now, that is something that I don't know. I can't tell from here the reasons why a record label or an artist would decide to sell off their catalogs when they're still alive. I can't tell why anyone would do that. But this particular event, this record-breaking event of Mariah Carey, is something that has taught us that copyrights that we have owned in the past are still valid. Even if it's a song from 20 years ago, do not undervalue your copyrights. Now, the 4th event of 2019 I'm going to mention in this video is the fact that music streaming alone accounts for about 47% of the entire music industry revenue of 2019. Now, that's amazingly mind-blowing, and it's a good thing for every single one of us who are keying into the artist's revolution, like I call it. Now, this is something that you need to think about deeply. This is something that needs to get you really excited about uploading your songs to streaming sites and releasing your songs digitally so that you can begin to, take part of this revenue that is fast growing. 47% of the entire music industry revenue world over. Music streaming is not going anywhere. Look, it's not something that's going to fizzle out in a couple of years to come. No. It's here to stay. Music streaming, it's here to stay. You might as well take part of it. You might as well decide to have your own share of the cake. Now, I've mentioned this in previous episodes of Music Business Monday, how it is very important to take part of the digital revolution. It's very important to take part of this because that is where music is going. CD sales are dropping every single day. As we speak, CD sales are dropping. Tapes are a thing of the past. Now, for some reason, some people are deciding to bring back vinyl records. Some artists have decided to, have their music on reproduced and distributed on vinyl also, as well as CDs. But nothing comes close to music streaming, which accounts for 47% of the entire music industry revenue of 2019. And it will be bigger in 2020. It will yet increase in 2021. And it's not going to drop in any way because the world is becoming more and more digital, and every aspect of life is keying into this technology. Now, you just have to do the same. I don't see why you wouldn't do the same. I don't see why you wouldn't take advantage of this. 47% of the entire music industry revenue world over is from music streaming. Now, of course, record labels have the biggest share of this 47% because they have the resources, or they initially had the resources to take advantage of the digital revolution when all this happened from the days of Napster. Now, this is why they have the biggest share. This is why independent artists and even artists under record labels that are enjoying from this streaming are not taking too much out of this revenue because record labels are leading in the decision making of this particular aspect of music industry revenue. But things are beginning to change because songwriters and independent artists are beginning to wake up and beginning to make noise about having their own share of the revenue from music streaming. And it's important that you also take advantage of this. If you're going to write any song for any record label, if you're writing any song for any artist who is going to be doing a digital release of that particular song, it's important that you don't only have your satisfaction from the little funds that are going to be given to you for the song you've written, but think about the future and the potential of that song generating much more than you have been paid already. Now, you just need to have a very big picture mindset of your dealings with people you're writing songs for. Now, I'm also going to add to this video events that took place in my own music business life. And first on that list is the release of my song High, which happened on the 9th of May. And that is a couple of months ago, and I'm going to drop a link to that particular lyric video in the descriptions of this video so that you can go and check it out, check out the song. And of course, as you can tell, the song is on all major streaming platforms, on Spotify, Deezer, Tidal, and so on and so forth. So you can go over to Tidal or Spotify or Deezer or whatever platform you prefer and listen to my song. It's the same name, Akurios, and you will not miss it. There's more songs coming from me in the coming year. More songs are going to be released very soon, not too long from this very day. And also, of course, I started this YouTube channel, this particular YouTube channel for my music and for also providing tips and help for musicians and artists out there. And I hope you have enjoyed it so far. It's been fun. It's been massive fun. And I've had the time of my life creating the videos, editing the videos, watching myself, and also seeing who has watched and who has liked and who have been of help to, and answering all the questions that have come in, answering them via subsequent videos and all that. And it's been fun. It's serious hard work, but at the same time, it's massive fun. And it's something that every artist can use as a tool to also grow and develop their own careers. And I advise that you do the same in 2020. I hope this episode of Music Business Monday has been a blessing to you. And if it has, please like the video, tap the like button right there. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel, tap the notification bell so that you are notified when there's new content from me. So I'm also going to wish you a happy new year in advance. It's just a couple of days from now, and I hope you have an amazing 2020. Until next time, I'm Akurios, and I'm out.